relax and say hello to everybody in
turn you the right way.
our vast international audience.
That's it. Let's see.
Hop skipping the globe.
That's us. That's us. Hop and skipping. As I say, to Facebook and YouTube that have now hopefully joined us, if it all worked, I pray. They've changed everything for the 18th time. I'm hoping that it works. I can see us.
We're all hoping that
we look terrible. The image is just awful. Would that you guys knew how much time I've spent on the phone with these folks trying to fix these things, because there. Let's see. Yep, you are there. Though we're not seeing your chat come through yet. Hello, 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 friends.
Well, here we are, December 17th.
I don't know how.
Only, 7 more shopping days till Christmas? They don't do those countdowns anymore.
Oh, God. Well, do you know?
Only 42 shopping days till Christmas.
I'll tell you, the nicest thing about being Jewish this time of year is the lack of stress. Yes. I always joke, because obviously now that we've got, now that I do get to celebrate Christmas because of my husband and now with my daughter, it is fun for sure. But it's also really nice that we don't care about any of it, if that makes sense.
It's not that we don't care.
But we don't, because there isn't some huge, let's get all the family together. Right. Let's make sure everybody's this, that, the other.
There's nothing at stake.
Yeah.
And with Daisy being only 2,
she doesn't care. She doesn't care about anything.
She's just looking for a good time.
Exactly.
Just a kid looking for a good time.
That's my girl. Just a kid looking for a good time. We try to give her
a good time.
I wish they could tell me why this image is still so screwy.
You spent a lot of time on the phone with them.
So much time with them. Why? Last week it was, or 2 weeks ago it was normal. Now it's back to being whatever this is. Harumph. Harumph, I say to you.
In person, you look great.
Oh, thanks. It's the lack of sleep. But I got to put makeup on. That was exciting. Because my husband is not working today. For the first time in a very long time, my husband's not working today. So I could put at least some eye makeup on and feel a little bit less like a dead person. Yes, hearing them leave the house is always hilarious. This like, blah, 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 and then silence. So they've gone to the park. They've gone to the park. Hi, everybody. We were not here last week because a certain Maltin was voting with his LA Film Critics companions.
The day. And when I said I spent the day, I mean all day.
No, Arthur. So we did not stream last Sunday. My dad forgot to mention it when we were on. Last week is when he and his the LA Film Critics, LAFCA, the Los Angeles Film Critics Association,
now 50 something strong.
Yeah, which is bonkers. But yeah, they were voting, and I want to go through it with you a little bit.
Okay,
because
I can't explain some of those votes.
Well,
we vote in person and we vote verbally. I mean, I'm not supposed to tell sales out of school, so I won't. But we vote verbally, and then we have a runoff, from the 2 highest votes.
And then we have a runoff.
And last year, the younger, more progressive members of the group, encouraged us to go genderless.
Yeah.
And to award the top 2 vote getters in the acting categories.
Yeah.
So the phrase is now best performance.
Yeah.
In a leading role, best performance in a supporting role.
Yes.
Now, I will freely admit that I didn't think anything was broken, so I didn't see the need to fix it.
No.
But a vote is a vote, and this new plan was voted in.
Yep.
So as it happens, and it was just happenstance, we're going to give 4 awards to females.
Yeah.
2 for leading performance, 2 for supporting performance.
Yep.
And they're all worthy.
Now, I'm just pleased at least that you guys are doing 2 in each category, because something that I find I don't understand why, like, for example, the Independent Spirit Awards have changed it so it is also genderless, but then they
got first dibs on
of
that.
Course they did. It's very them. But, they only have one person win in each of the categories. So instead of having 5 people or whatever it is, you've got 10 people and only one person wins. And it just feels like, why? You know what I mean? Like, just have two. And then it could be 2 women, 2 men, 2 what, it doesn't matter. Or, if you don't identify with those genders, it could be a they, it could be whatever the hell it is whatever pronoun it is you would like.
Yeah.
You choose that pronoun.
Taking that out of the equation, because now the award is for performance.
That's it. So it's like, if as I say, whatever pronoun it is you use, there could be 2. And instead of having 1, as I say, to me, just feels like it means that only one person's work is being celebrated. And I feel like that's a bit of a loss, because the thing about awards, in reality, why do you want to win an award? And I'm talking about the business side of things. In regular life, we want to win an award because it makes us feel good, right? Winning an award is nice. It is nice to win an award.
Who doesn't want to get an award?
Who doesn't want to get an award? In terms of business, an award means attention. So it means,
which can translate into box office,
money,
or streaming fees,
or just
revenue,
just
right?
Recognition.
Right.
If you're an actor or a director who people are not as familiar with, so for example, Divine Joy Randolph. She is getting a lot of attention. Her first big performance was in
Dolomite Is My Name,
where she blew everyone away.
She went toe to toe with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
And apparently on the set was cracking him up.
Yeah. And she's spectacular, genuinely. And then she's had several other good roles, but this one in The Holdovers is what is getting attention and getting nominations. Well, for a name that is not yet a household name, not just because it is a fun one to say, Divine Joy Randolph, but that means that she gets a little more of a boost.
Yep.
That means that if you want to bring her in for your next film, it's a little less of an argument, if that makes sense. You go, well, we'd really like her for the part. And they said, we want someone more established. Well, she just won at the LA Film Critics Awards. She was nominated for a blah, blah, blah. So in our business, that's really what awards are for.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, taking an award off the table and saying, here are 10 incredible performances and you can only pick 1, when instead you could choose 2. Why not? What is the loss of 2? I don't think there is one. Just me personally.
Anyway.
So, 1 second. Let's just real quick go over some of the LA Film Critic votes, because there were some in there that you were all for.
Yeah.
As always, and this is part of it, especially in the weeks leading up, you get about 7,000 emails
from my fellow members.
From your fellow members, everybody discussing different things. Oh, sorry. What do you guys, what are your thoughts on the National Film Registry? We'll talk about the National Film Registry, because that's also
just a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry, that's right. He can't talk about it, but he can tell you a little bit about it. Is that better?
Well, no, I'm not on the National Film Registry.
No,
anymore,
but
so
yes, but it was still.
Yeah.
You are familiar.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just real quick. I'm going to go through some of these because I thought they were interesting. And as I say, if you're not familiar, it's the Los Angeles Film Critics Association, LAFCA. You've been a member for 402 years.
Yep.
And there's a lot of really good people there.
I'm now part of the old guard.
You are. So your first category up. Now, the way that they do it, if you would like to look at it, thank you, Frank. I got to put on makeup. Basically.
Hi, Larry. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, guys. You can look on Twitter. Again, I'm never going to call it X. I just refuse. And what LAFCA does is they announce the runner-up as well as the winner.
Yeah.
Hi, Hassan. Hello. So for your first category up was cinematography, and your runner-up was Killers of the Flower Moon. Your winner was Robbie Ryan for Poor Things.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is a surprise, because even if you've only seen the trailer,
it's an exceptionally well-made movie.
Yeah.
And technically, superior, just
Yeah.
in every way.
Yeah.
I mean, hair, makeup, production design, costume design.
I saw a very funny interview with Emma Stone where she explained why she was made one of the producers, and it's because she wouldn't stop bothering Yorgos with all the details that he finally. She said it was his way of just being like, you know what, fine, you're a producer, because she wanted to know every single thing, and I love that. So that's not a surprise. Your best score was Michael Levi for The Zone of Interest, which is another movie that's got a lot of attention.
And we added a special citation for the sound designer.
Yeah,
in that
there
film,
you go. With special recognition of the contribution of sound designer Johnny Byrne.
Because it's an orchestration of music, and not a lot of music, and sound. This is the film. This is the film made by Jonathan Glazer, who's British. In Germany, about a real life SS officer during World War II who lived with his family in very nice digs, as they say, lovely house, garden, all of that, with a common wall. They shared a common wall with the Auschwitz concentration camp. And they let life go on.
Every time you say it, I still just sort of go, okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing film.
Yeah, yeah. Your production design, no surprise, is Barbie, with the runner-up being Poor Things. Again,
both
the visual,
well designed movies. I mean, again, how do you vote one is better than the other?
You can't. I think there's certain things that I think it's one of those where, in reality, everybody could be awarded. And that is why when people say it's an honor just to be nominated, it's because that is sort of, people are voting for you.
Yeah.
Someone is voting for you. That's pretty cool. Oh, getting into we'll get into the whole someone being put into lead versus supporting. The gist is, again, it all comes down to business. Remember always with awards, it is business. And that's the thing that I think I talk to friends about more than anything else, especially when I travel and I'm out of this bubble and they ask me about it. Everything is business.
Look,
so
Annette Bening and Jodie Foster are co-stars of the film Nyad. They're the co-leads.
They're co-leads.
Even though Nyad is about Diana Nyad, played by Bening, Jodie Foster.
It's the two of them.
It's the two of them.
It's the two of them.
And they're both great. But the tendency nowadays is to say, well, let's make Jodie Foster supporting actress.
And basically what it comes down to is that you have a chance of winning.
Yeah.
And in many cases,
and you don't want to both be in the same category because that splits.
No, that's what happens with Succession the last couple of years, is like all three of them are in I don't understand. What you're saying is I don't understand why Lily Gladstone is being pushed for lead actress. Oh, see, I've seen it the other way around. I've seen her pushed for supporting, but she is the lead.
She is the female
actress
lead
of the film. She is the female lead of the film. But that's the thing. It all just comes down to
it's all the word contrivance, I think, comes to mind.
Where do you think someone will win?
Yeah.
So if I am Warner Brothers or Universal or whoever, what it comes down to is, where do I think it will win? Do I think that so-and-so has a chance in this category or this category? Well, supporting, they might have a chance. So you put them into supporting. This was a big part of conversation when Nebraska came out, and it was all about Bruce Dern. And what they said to Bruce Dern quite literally was, we don't think you can win lead, but we think you could win supporting. And Bruce Dern
wouldn't play the game.
Being very Bruce Dern.
Yes, he wouldn't play that game.
Said, I'm the lead of the movie. I don't know. I don't even know how you begin to argue that one. Yeah. Like, who's the star of the movie? You. And so he refused. So he went into the best actor category and he lost. But I have the greatest of respects. Simultaneously, I also understand, especially if you're someone who maybe doesn't have the clout of someone else, if your whole team and everybody at wherever are saying to you, look, we're going to push you for supporting. This is what's happening. Not everybody can say, well, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Julianne
So-
Moore and Natalie Portman
Yeah.
are the
They're
co-stars,
the
the co-leads in
They're
May, December.
co-leads.
And they're gonna finagle that in some way.
They're gonna find a way. They
Yeah.
always try to find a way. Your best editor was for Anatomy of a Fall, which again makes sense. I like to see. So for best animation, the winner is The Boy and the Heron, which is
Just
Miyazaki's
exquisitely beautiful.
new film. And the runner-up there was something called Robot Dreams, which you loved.
I really enjoyed it.
And
And I'm going to do a list. We're going to post sometime this week a list of sleepers.
yeah, we
from
are
2023.
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, we're posting a list of sleepers. When are you
Sleepers.
going to give that to me?
In a couple of days.
Good to know.
Yeah.
In a few days, we're going to be posting a list of sleepers. So yeah, The Boy and the Heron.
Films that flew under the radar.
Yeah. Best supporting performances, you guys gave it to Rachel McAdams for Are You There, God It's Me, Margaret, which is a film that you really, really enjoyed.
Yep.
And then Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. And your runner-up for those two were Lily Gladstone and Ryan Gosling for Barbie. Your best lead performance runner-ups were Andrew Scott for All of Us Strangers and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. Your winners for best lead performance were Sandra, is it Hüller or Huller or Hüller? Hüller. For Anatomy of a Fall and The Zone of Interest.
She's very good in both films. She's got a really meaty role to play in Anatomy of a Fall, French movie, really good.
Yeah.
And she has a smaller part in The Zone of Interest, but she's not insignificant in that film either.
And then the other winner is Emma Stone. So you've got four ladies.
Yep.
Four women who identify as she, her, women, people. You have four of them in this category. That is for everyone.
In other words, 4 women.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Your screenplay is All of Us Strangers. Your best documentary was, I don't even know how to say that. Menu Plaisirs, Le Trois Gras.
Menu Plaisir.
Le Trois Gras.
Yes, it's the new film from Frederick Wiseman. It's like 3 hours long.
Oh,
and
everybody loves a good 3-hour long film.
About a Michelin-rated, highly rated Michelin restaurant in France. And in typical Frederick Wiseman fashion, there's no narration and no music, I believe.
Because who needs those things?
It's fly on the wall filmmaking, observational filmmaking.
Yeah.
He's one of the founding fathers of cinema verite, and he's still curious and he's still engaged. And this is his latest work.
There you go. And then your best director, your runner-up is Yorgos Lanthimos, which makes a whole lot of sense, and your winner is Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that one? Or do you think that he was? Do you like that as the option?
Yeah, well, I might have gone for Yorgos, but
yeah.
I'm not opposed to honoring Jonathan Glazer. He did a really good job.
Yeah.
He hasn't made a lot of films, but they've all been really interesting. Sexy Beast, Ben Kingsley.
I do love that movie.
Yeah, me too. And Birth with Nicole Kidman and Danny Houston. Another really interesting movie.
Your best, again, having to change, best film not in the English language.
Okay.
Because you can't say foreign
Can't
film.
say foreign.
Not allowed to say foreign film.
Because that sounds like you're
calling them foreign.
Yeah.
Which is what they are, but we're not going to call it that. We do really well, guys. This is a party. Your best film not in the English language winner was Anatomy of a Fall.
Yeah. It's a great film.
And your best picture runner-up was Oppenheimer. Your winner was The Zone of Interest. So it appeared as I went through this, like everybody else did, because they live tweet. They live tweet through this. Oh, sorry. Menu Trois Gras is 4 hours long, says Craig. But I was watching as they're tweeting along with this, and it is always interesting to see what wins everybody over. You know?
Yeah.
I said, like, did you feel that Zone of Interest was one of the best films?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And did you feel that Anatomy of a Fall was one of the best films?
Absolutely.
Hooray.
No, I have no kick coming here.
Yeah.
I might have chosen, differently because of my preference.
Yeah, of course.
But
But no, it's nice at the very least. It's nice when you get winners that you can look at and go, yeah,
oh yeah,
that's a solid film.
yeah.
I think we all feel like that, right? It's nice when things that are
Because there are
good,
some years when
it's a hot mess.
yeah,
There are some years where we just go, what? Doesn't film billing play a role in the nomination process? No,
at
but
LAFCA, I don't know how it is.
sometimes
I don't know how it is at the New York Film Critics or the National Society of Film Critics, but at LAFCA, our rule of thumb is vote your conscience.
yeah.
In other words, if you think that this is a supporting performance, then you go right ahead.
Yep.
And if you think that this is primarily, and if you judge this is primarily not the English language, go right ahead.
That is yours to do.
Yeah.
Which is nice. And that's the thing is you guys don't really fight.
So billing
Like-
is irrelevant to
Yeah.
us.
It is true that one of the things that an actor or actress can argue in the contract is absolutely they can say they have to be above the title. This is also true on Broadway. This is very true in theater. Are they above, below, locations? So yes, in some cases it does. In other cases, not so much.
TCM has been doing a Cary Grant Festival all through December. They're continuing that. And so I watched some of The Awful Truth again the other night, which is no chore. He and Irene Dunn made 3 wonderful films together. Why didn't they work again? Neither one would surrender top billing.
It's honest.
They liked each other a lot. They knew that they were a good pair.
It's honest.
Neither one would surrender top billing.
You can't argue when it's honest. That's how I feel. Who do you think is the most interesting director right now? Asks Francis.
Well, Yorgos Lanthimos is one of them.
Yeah.
The man who made Poor Things, and The Favorite before that. He's definitely interesting. You know that I'm fond of Alexander Payne and Jeff Nichols, who are both hyphenates. They're writer-directors. And I have a special admiration for people who write and direct both.
Yeah.
I mean, that says a lot. It says a lot about the passion they bring to the project. It's their baby.
It is, and I mean, it is also funny though, isn't it, when you watch something and the credits are like one name over and over and over again.
I watched we were watching the first episode of the new season of Fargo the other night.
Yeah.
And it said, directed by Noah Hawley. Director gets first credit. Written by Noah Hawley. Executive producer Noah Hawley.
Always makes me laugh when they sort of.
Oh, I guess this is a Noah Hawley.
Yeah.
TV show.
One of my friends, he submitted one of his films last year into the film festival circuit, and because it was really him and like one other friend who made the whole thing, they just started making up fake names, which is something a lot of my friends actually do if they make a small film. Is that they will just they'll just add a few fake names in there so that it doesn't look like it's Noah.
There's a Buster Keaton short called The Playhouse where he plays every character in the film. And they cut away to a program book showing what the couple in the box, both played by Buster, are looking at. And every name in it. And then there's a title card where he says to her, "This fellow Keaton seems to be the whole show." It's a great title.
Craig says His Girl Friday is still the best. I still consider the first movie to have an Easter egg with the Bellamy reference.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's in our house. That's one of our favorite films ever.
Yes.
Because it's just
so great.
Spectacular. What could be better? Craig is saying the fascinating film Origin has been overlooked so far in the nominations.
I was going to bring that up.
Well, so here is an excellent and interesting situation. We talk about how in order for something to be considered for an Oscar, or for a bunch of the other,
Yeah.
awards that come up, but really Oscar. A film has to play in, usually it comes down to LA, Chicago, New York. And it only has to play for a week, but it has to play for a week in a theater. Well, what's going to happen both with American Fiction and
American Fiction is opening.
it's opening in
Yeah.
January.
No, it's opening.
I thought she said January.
No, selected
We spoke to
theaters
that.
now.
But that, right, and then it's
Then
more
it's going wider.
because that's why
Yeah,
she was saying
that's right.
we're going to be interviewing the director of that film, Cord, and in speaking to the publicist, it's really interesting because she was saying, well, we're going to go wide in January, so it'd be great to have him do an episode then because it will garner more attention.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean when I say, so it doesn't really come out.
Right.
It does.
Argent
But
is
not.
having a 1 week qualifying
Yep.
run.
And then is it
But
February?
it's not really opening until February.
Yeah. So this to me is where things can get quite complicated.
And this happened to Ava DuVernay with Selma.
I know. I don't understand why they
Yeah.
don't. I don't get it. I don't understand.
Clayton Davis, who's the awards columnist now in Variety,
Yeah.
wrote a very good column the other day, wondering aloud, essentially, why Argent has been left out of the awards race.
Yeah.
Why no one is mentioning it, no one is citing it.
Yeah.
And I think in part it's because people haven't seen it.
It's late. But that's what this
Late to
is
the
what
party.
happens.
And he said, and I agree, it's a great film. And Anjanou Ellis-Taylor, who is not a star name, which is going to make it a tougher sell to the public, but she is great in this movie and perfectly cast. You have to really empathize with this character that she's playing.
And you were really blown away by her performance in Till. She plays the mother in Till. Which no.
That's Danielle Deadweiler.
Ah, my bad. What's the one that Anjanou Ellis was in that everybody went, oh my God?
It's Argent.
No, but it was something.
Oh, she's in a lot of stuff.
I know that. There was something. Yes, I'm thinking you're right. Of course you're right. But what?
Just let me.
I say it. Don't act like I don't. I will say I'm very good at saying I'm wrong, you are right. It's not often the case, but I am good at saying it. No, it's but that's the thing, isn't it? Is, as I say, I don't understand, since everybody knows the game. Like, why? It's not like this is her first time. It's not like she's a publicist. Ava DuVernay was a publicist. That's how we know her. We know her because she was a publicist for years. We'd always see her. And now she is, geez, she has Array. She has a whole company. She's like a baby Oprah.
Yeah.
She is spectacular.
Yeah.
And I mean that as a person.
But
this is very odd.
But
it's very odd.
This film is so good and so worthy and so relevant. It's based on a best-selling book.
Yeah.
And by Isabel Wilkerson. And that's who Anjanou Ellis-Taylor plays. And you kind of go on this journey with her as she's trying to understand the roots of racism. And it's so powerful, so good. And it's not like medicine. This is good for you. Here, watch this. No, it's completely absorbing and superb.
Yeah. And you and Mommy agreed.
Yeah.
King Richard. That's one of the ones that she got a lot of.
Yes.
That's what it is. That's what I'm thinking of. Thank you, Craig. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Is that she got a lot of attention for that. And she's in The Color Purple, which when does it come out?
Christmas Day.
Okay.
And we're
how embargoed are we?
We're gagged until December 23rd.
We're still embargoed. Okay. Yeah. We have no thoughts on The Color Purple. Say it's all tricky. So that's a good question up here. Does it happen often that a supporting performance is put in the lead? I'm thinking of Michelle Williams in The Fabelmans. Yeah, sometimes it's like
it's a matter of interpretation.
Years
ago, when I was at ET, Entertainment Tonight, I would sometimes ask the field director on a shoot to ask one extra question for me when they were going out on assignment. They were going to shoot something where Walter Matthau was going to be there. And I said, ask him about the absurdity of him being run as a supporting actor in Billy Wilder's The Fortune Cookie. This is the film that made him a star. This is the film that that turned his career around. And he is the lead, but he won Best Supporting Actor. And of course, he has the Oscars, so it would be churlish.
There are worse things.
Yeah, it would be churlish for him to argue the point too much.
Yeah.
But he said, well, you could say anything. You could say that Lady Macbeth is a supporting role. She supports Macbeth. So he got the point, you know. And,
no, it's it's a game, and that's what you always have to remember. Because I say, I repeat it a lot to friends who will send me a message and say, why is so and so getting this attention or that attention? I go, it's all a game. It's work. It's business. You know. Now, at the same time, do we all get really excited to cheer someone on?
Yeah,
absolutely. You know, Ke Huy Quan this year, but you know, all through awards season, December, January, February of this year, people were so thrilled to see him winning because he's a lovely guy.
Yeah.
It's a comeback story. And the fact
it's a perfect comeback.
And the fact that Steven Spielberg was around at the same time, meaning that they both were going to so many events. It made it very special. So when, you know, to have someone to root for was so special. And so that's the thing. When there is that person, win or lose, it's exciting.
Yeah.
You know, and it's fun. Yes, we'll go back. So the film registry, the National Lampoon's Film Registry.
This is the entity that votes every year to add 25 films to kind of an honor roll of American cinema. And the films have to be culturally, historically significant. They have to have they have to carry some weight in one way or another. That they were popular, that they were successful, that they were influential. And they cast a very wide net. I mean, they cast the Zapruder footage, you know, that's on that list. And so is Steamboat Willie, you know, it's a
often billed together.
It's a very broad ranging list. And I voted on it for like at least 25 years.
Easily 25, yeah.
And occasionally I had a little cabal going with one or two of the other voting members where we would agree to both get behind, or all three, or three of us get behind a certain title that needed a little love. And because
hey, let's all bring up such and such in hopes that it can be.
And in the first round, if it got more than 2 or 3 votes, that would inspire other people in the second round to say, oh, all right, we'll do that. But I'm not on that board anymore.
No.
So,
but you are
on the National Film Preservation Foundation board.
Yes. Say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, I can't.
And you just had a meeting with them the other day.
Yep.
And you were talking about, when you came home from it, you were talking about how proud you are of the work that is done.
Well, yes. I mean, we have a permanent staff of 4.
Say the name of it again. Because it's long.
National Film Preservation Foundation. Our offices are in San Francisco because that's where the founding president, Annette Melville, lives. And so it just made sense, you know, and they run a very lean operation. There's a site that rates charities based on what?
No, it's just a funny. I love the idea that someone went, let's rate charities. www.ratecharities.com.
Well, yeah, I mean,
no, it's very useful. It's just funny.
We're a nonprofit. We're not a charity, but we are a nonprofit, and we got 100% rating because the
money goes where it's supposed to go.
Money goes not to not to fancy offices or expense accounts or anything
or payment
like
or salary.
It goes to preserve films.
Yeah.
And so some of the money we distribute $1 million every year, and that money goes to the Museum of Modern Art Film Department, to UCLA Film and Television Archive, George Eastman Museum in Rochester. A lot of the leading film archives but it also goes to a public library in Kansas that has discovered that a local filmmaker did
a documentary about the town.
Yeah, for the Chamber
and
of Commerce.
They want to make sure that
it's
it's
saved.
saved.
Yeah. So we've given out grants in all 50 states by now, and our track record is really good. And so I'm very proud to be on that board.
Yeah, Nick's saying he's glad Lady and the Tramp finally made the list.
Yeah,
which is great. I don't understand the point of the National Film Registry. Am I right that they don't restore and protect them?
That's correct, but we help and we enable.
Yeah.
Our
part of the registry was that. And
oh no, sorry.
This is the registry.
The registry. The registry, it's an honor roll.
It's a list.
It's a list.
It's a list.
It's a list that,
Well, again, but what does it do? It means that if someone is trying to, let's say you're trying to restore something and it gets onto that registry, well, then it's one more thing to be able to go, hey, maybe let's divert some funds into doing this. That's what it all comes down to. Everything always comes down to money. As we know, that's what it comes down to.
Follow the money.
That's right. Have you screened Bike Riders yet? Yes.
Oh,
did you see it in Telluride or did you see it before?
No,
that?
I saw it before Telluride.
Oh, you right at the thing, right? Yeah. Yes.
I got a sneak look at it.
You got a sneaky peeky
during the summer, and I liked it a lot. And then I watched it again at the AFI Fest, and afterwards got to do a Q&A with Jeff Nichols, who wrote and directed it.
We got an email that said they asked Jeff Nichols who he would like to have interview him after their screening at AFI Fest. And he said Leonard. And we went, yep. And that's how that happened. It's the last time I saw him, I said, you realize my dad's like a fangirl for you, right? And he was like, yeah, I'm into it. I said, oh, good. I'm glad that we have this understanding.
But now it's been postponed to 2024. So it's not going to come out for some time yet. But it's a really good film.
Yeah. With
Tom Hardy, Austin Butler.
Yeah.
And
the other guy.
No, the woman, the young woman who was.
Would you like me to look it up?
British, playing American.
Somebody else can say, because I will look it up. It's not even on the thing. It has to be. Jodie Comer. There you go. Jodie Comer.
Jodie Comer. And Michael Shannon, because Michael Shannon is in every Jeff Nichols movie.
Yeah. Because if you can have him in everything, put him in everything. My fun fact, if you ever saw the show, what was it called? See, now I'm just blanking. It's a karaoke show. Something. It's the one that's hosted by LL Cool J. Mm-hmm. You have to watch his performances on there, because watching Michael Shannon, who is this adorable, awkward, nerdy guy dancing around and singing, very, very funny and really, really well done. I thought they put a copy of the film in the Library of Congress in humidity temperature controlled environment, the registry. Depends on what the film is. A DVD doesn't need that. A DVD can live wherever it wants. A disc can live wherever it wants.
I remember that being announced when the registry was new, but I don't know if they've kept that promise or not.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to in the same way. Mm-hmm. If you're dealing with film,
you do.
No, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If you're not dealing with film,
mm-hmm.
which we don't know if they are at this point.
Yeah.
If they've got actual prints coming in. Yeah, lip sync battle. That's the one. Words are gone at this point. Again, it's that lack of sleep just really gets you, especially when you need to remember things like facts. Trying to think of what else you guys have watched. Though you and mommy, my mom and dad, this time of year will go through 20 movies, 30 movies.
We watched the other night. We watched Perfect Days, mm-hmm. the Wim Wenders film, which was at Telluride, yep. Which we didn't see at Telluride. And look up the actor's name. It's a Japanese actor, a very highly regarded Japanese actor, but I can't memorize his name effectively.
Wim Wenders. Windows make a film called Perfect Days. It is Koji Yakusho.
Yeah.
Yeah, Koji Yakusho.
Not a difficult name.
No,
Koji Yakusho.
just have to remember it.
Won Best Actor at the Cannes Film Festival this past spring. And he's really quite good in the film. It's a very low-key film. Your mother found it boring.
Yeah.
I did not.
I always know she's bored because she'll start texting me and I go, aren't you guys watching a movie?
It's a very small scale film, but I liked it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. This is the whole thing, each to his own. Will Alice Maltin be appearing on the stream soon? We miss her. We try. I'm telling you, Alice likes her quiet Sundays. She is upstairs probably reading and watching a British mystery. It's a guess, but I feel like it is an educated guess, especially since my husband has the baby, so she doesn't have to chase Daisy around for an hour. Did Mickey Rooney and Paul Frees in 53 Years of Santa Claus is coming to town? Would you phrase that again, Robert? I don't know what you're asking. Yes, absolutely, Rachel. Alice is fabulous. My mom and I are going, hashtag bring back Alice. My mom and I are going to go tomorrow with Daisy. We're going to go to Riverside to the Mission Inn. If you're familiar at all with that place, it's got some really neat history. And at Christmas time, they completely deck it out. And I love Christmas lights because who doesn't love them? This guy. I tease him. He won't let us have lights because we're Jewish. But someday.
By the way, I couldn't find Mickey, this plush Mickey holding a dreidel. I put Chip and Dale.
He's somewhere over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you want to know why those two are over there?
Why?
Because a certain very small person was playing with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does that.
It's because you have too many toys.
Yeah.
How do you explain to a 2-year-old, no, these are grandpa's toys, Daisy. You can't help that. Did Paul Frees as Burger, Mr. Burger? I'm sorry, Robert. I don't know what you're saying. So one of the questions that we asked you guys today is what are some of your favorite unsung Christmas movies?
Oh, The Guardian.
Yes.
Formerly the Manchester Guardian. Now it's just The Guardian. And my wife reads it online.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a very unusual ranked list of the best Christmas movies with a lot of selections that I would never dream of putting on any list. Not that I disagree completely, but just a very offbeat selection. But they did have the one with Matthew Amalric and Catherine Deneuve, which I'm not forgetting the name of. And of course, Joyeux Noël, which is a wonderful film about a Christmas Eve truce on the front lines in World War I, which is not based on a true story, but based on anecdotal evidence that such a thing did happen, at least in one location.
There you go. My favorite is Arthur Christmas. I love Arthur Christmas. Now, more and more people have seen it, but it's still something that people they're not as familiar with.
Yeah.
I just think it's it's a lovely film. It is really well done. You've got fantastic voice actors in it. And it just made us happy. We all saw it. We went to a screening of it. We all saw it. And I just went, well, this is wonderful.
And I think Sony released it and
did a terrible job.
Terrible job of selling it to an audience.
Yeah.
The image they used on the billboards here in LA, there were billboards.
Yeah.
But you couldn't read the billboards easily.
No,
it just didn't have.
This again is something I will never understand for the life of me. You spend so much money making movies, and then you don't actually put in the time and effort to publicize or advertise them.
It's
where on the other hand, some of them may go overboard, and it's like, we got it, all right, we heard it. Did you? Oh, Josh, I'm so glad you have to. Sorry, did Jude watch it? Did Jude watch it as well, or was it you and your dad? Because I just think it's such a lovely film. Someone saying Trapped in Paradise, 1994. I don't know that one.
You
do?
With Nicolas Cage.
Oh well, my boyfriend. My boyfriend, Nicolas Cage.
And produced by my old friend John Davison.
There you go. I love Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol.
Oh, I do. I do too. I am just old enough
Mhm.
to have seen it in its debut broadcast
Wow.
on television. 1962.
Can you remember?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
It was a big deal. It was an animated TV special. There weren't many of them.
Yeah. Josh, did Jude like it as much as you did? Did it work for him? I love showing kids Arthur Christmas because I just think it's wonderful.
The Taste of Things is another film that is opening for a qualifying run, but not really opening till next calendar year. But it is a wonderful movie. Wonderful, with Juliette Binoche and her one-time husband. Whose name again?
I'm doing well.
It's Benoit. Benoit is his first name.
Yeah.
We'll get the last name for you in a moment.
I have a baby. What's your excuse for not sleeping enough?
Well,
Benoit Magimel?
Yes.
There you go. Magimel? This who you're thinking of?
Yes. Magimel.
Magimel?
Benoit Magimel. A soft G.
A soft G. I watched the Joan Hickson Miss Marples for Christmas. I don't really have a favorite Christmas movie. You're allowed. That's the thing. It doesn't really, to me, I don't think it really matters what the movie is to make. I don't think it's something has to make it Christmas. It's just the thing for you that you go, oh, I love watching this time of year. It's one of my favorite things. Have you seen The Archies?
No.
Not yet.
I did start watching. This is not an answer to your question in the slightest, but I did start watching the 4-part miniseries in which Jason Isaacs plays Archie Leach, aka Cary Grant.
Yes, you both did, and I watched some of it with you.
And he is such a superb actor.
He's spectacular,
and he does a really good job playing Cary Grant. I don't know that I want to watch the whole series, but they picked the right guy apparently. And
one of the on Facebook where I asked the question, one of the answers is from a woman named Sharon Gallagher. Hi, my name is Sharon Gallagher, but I live in France. I am a widow, and I did not have the opportunity to save the son of my late husband. I have cancer since 2011, which does not allow me to survive. I would just like to give part of my fortune of 650,000 euros to a trustworthy and caring person. If you are interested, write to my WhatsApp. Sounds legit. Everybody, hop on there. Sounds legit. Don't do it. Don't do it. I like seeing the different movies that you guys come up with. Mixed Nuts is a very solid one.
I don't think there's anything solid about Mixed Nuts.
Well,
perhaps my least favorite Nora Ephron movie.
It's like a Black Nativity. Jennifer Hudson knocks it out of the park. Big Business, Laurel and Hardy's silent short.
Yep.
Remember the Night, Jenny says, Remember the Night is my favorite movie ever and is perfect for Christmas.
Yes, it is.
A Midnight Clear is a great unsung Christmas World War II movie from 1992 featuring an amazing cast starring Ethan Hawke and Gary Sinise. The 1952 British film The Holly and the Ivy is my favorite unsung Christmas film. As I don't consider
it on TCM a couple of years
ago. Yeah, that's great. As far as holiday movies go, for me, it's a toss-up between Lethal Weapon and Scrooged, both by the late, great Richard Donner. I will tell you, if you have not listened to our podcast with Richard Donner, Dick Donner, it was one of the craziest, and I say crazy because watching him was, when he came in, he didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And this is what I do miss about doing these interviews in person. So he was sort of sitting, he wasn't unpleasant, but he was sort of sitting and answering questions. And then you started bringing up like Perry Mason and
he
stuff
did a lot of episodic TV in his early career.
You brought up a lot of stuff that he never gets to talk about. And I watched him slowly but surely get more and more comfortable and start to have fun. And by the end of it, he was laughing and having such a good time. And it just brought me so much joy. to see
He
him.
really did have a good time.
You know, that he was like, oh, we're not just going to talk about Superman. We're not just going to talk about one. We're going to actually,
Or the Goonies.
you know, bring up all these movies that have so much meaning and TV shows. So yeah, if you haven't listened to that, I really recommend it. It was wonderful to get to spend an hour with him. I feel very lucky that we got to do that. A question from Patrick is, how many direct-to-DVD films have won or at least been nominated for an Oscar, or do such movies get a different award? Well, during COVID is the only time that that's ever been an option. That has never been an option prior to that. I wish, you know, it may happen eventually, but for now, I think it works. Oh, have you seen Godzilla -1 yet?
Yes, we did watch that
Indeed,
this
he
week.
has.
Yes.
And they both, my mom and dad both really liked it.
It was heartily recommended to me.
Yeah.
By people I trust.
A lot of friends really loved it.
It's really good. It's really good and smart.
Mm.
And the fact that it dramatizes Japan in the immediate aftermath of World War II and how they responded to things, like, you know, post Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, and the effects are great. You know, it's like they're all photorealistic now. I mean, you know, it's like.
No, but a lot of our film nerd friends have been emailing about it and just thrilled.
Yeah.
Really made them excited, which is always fun. Does Hook count as a Christmas movie? It does if you want it to.
It does if you want it to. Vote your conscience.
Oh, I like this. Has Mr. Maltin ever gotten into a physical altercation with a fellow movie critic over a movie? Should we make up a lie? Should we make up a really fun lie about it? I don't know.
Dangerous.
You and Gene Siskel back in the day just no, never.
No.
Never anything like that.
No such thing.
Not really his thing. Let's do. Oh, Shannon, I love that you love Bravo stuff as much as I do. I've never met Sutton Strack or Garcelle. I would love to meet Sutton because I think she's absolutely insane. I think she's nuts, and it would be really interesting. Why did Karen Dautrice call Walt Disney Uncle Walt? They all did. All of the kids did. That's how he was known. And even really for you guys who grew up watching him,
a lot of people,
that's kind of how he
regarded him on television as like a favorite uncle.
Yeah. So that's why. And as I said, you'll hear all of if you watch interviews with the Mouseketeers, with the Spin and Marty guys, any of that, they all called him Uncle Walt. It was
some called him Mr. Disney.
But it was very, it's funny to say it this way, but it's very innocent and very warm, and very loving. Not some kind of a forced familiarity. You know, if you hear the way that a lot of the young people who work for him talk about him, he really went out of his way to make them feel comfortable, to make them feel supported.
Again, TCM the other night. I can tell you everything that was on TCM this
That's
week.
what you watch most.
We watched a little bit of the end of the Americanization of Emily, which was Julie Andrews' second movie, I think, after Mary Poppins. Walt Disney took the time and trouble to write her a note to say that as a newcomer to Hollywood, which is what she was, he had worked with Arthur Hiller. The studio had hired him to direct The Miracle of the White Stallions, which they shot in Europe. And Walt just said some nice things about Arthur Hiller. I think he will be in good hands. You know, he took the time to reassure Julie Andrews that, you know, she needn't worry about this new project she was embarking upon. Who does that?
The right kind of people.
He did that.
Callie Kid, we went over Zone of Interest towards the beginning. Yes, you have seen it.
Yes. I like it.
A former student of yours here. What are your thoughts on new 4K remasters drastically changing the color slash look of classic films? Thank you so much.
Well, I'm not aware. I don't have firsthand experience at seeing a different look. If you can give me some specific examples, perhaps I can.
I like that, Kevin. Kevin says, I read that Leonard and Pauline Kael fought in an anything goes match once. It's true. It's completely true, Kevin. It happened. It was vicious. Pauline used teeth. He still got scars from it, but you know what? He came out stronger, and we support him. That's all that really matters. There are a few well-known people who are gone who I really wish I could meet. Walt Disney is definitely one of them. Yeah.
Let me do a little show and tell.
Yes, indeed.
Apropos of nothing. This is a blotter, an ink blotter. Some of you may or may not be familiar with ink blotters from the days when people used fountain pens. And blotters have been a vehicle for movie advertising since the beginning of movies. This one is advertising Paramount's Lady in the Dark with Ginger Rogers. This blotter is perfumed with Dorothy Gray Lady in the Dark perfume. Other Lady in the Dark items available. So they put a scent on this card and send it out to theaters in little plastic sleeves to try to. I have a blotter from the silent Ben-Hur.
All I can imagine right now is someone sitting. I always think of the PAs, right? They had different names back then, but I always think of it. Somebody had to sit there and just go, shh, shh. Somebody said, this is going to be great.
I love the fact that back in the heyday of Hollywood and the star system, there was the belief that anything you were trying to sell would sell better with a movie star on it. Say, for instance, buttons. You're the kind of person who knits sweaters, cardigan sweaters.
Preview movie buttons, registered trademark, guaranteed washable, ironable. And it's hard to see underneath the little buttons.
It's Lynn Barry.
Yeah, they're trying to read the little thing. Here are.
And here's Lucille Bremer.
Should you need them? Celeb buttons.
Lucille Bremer, who was on TCM the other night in Meet Me in St. Louis. She's Judy Garland's sister. You could have a button, or you could have a Lynn Barry button.
You know, if you have to choose.
You could have a bobby pin, or you could have a Joan Caulfield bobby pin.
A Solo, your guarantee of quality. Solo, America's finest hair accessories. Hey, Leonard, any thoughts on Norman Lear? I want to make sure we do get to that. You show this.
Yeah. You could have more bobby pins. This is essentially what they are.
Yeah.
Or you could have.
They're for pin curls, Daddy.
Okay.
They're very they're for pin curls. No, they're very specifically. You pin the curl, and that's how your hair will be curly in the morning.
Or you could have Elise Knox.
Yes.
Pin curls. Elise Knox, the mother of Mark Harmon.
Yep. Rachel, we're going to have to teach my dad about pin curls. Clearly, he is not informed. I love it. I love all of this. Well, so I'll tell you, we got to interview Norman Lear for our show. You can listen to that episode. And my God, the youth in him, the verve, the vim, the vigor.
He was still living life to the fullest extent possible.
We went to his office. Went to his office.
Yeah, a new office. He had just
big, beautiful office
at Sony.
And man, he was so much fun. He was so much fun because he loves what he does. Loved what he did. Absolutely loved it. And he was such just a force of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And part of what was wonderful was hearing him talk about the newer versions of the shows that he was doing. And he was talking about them again with the same enthusiasm
and vigor
that, it's just, it was such a thrill.
Yeah.
And
he took a phone call while we were recording, a solicitation from some. Not
a solicitation. It was a political phone call encouraging him to vote Democrat. And he said, "Do you mind if I think we left it in. I think we left some of it in because he answers the phone and he let the guy go. He said, "Yeah, no, tell me what it is that I want to hear your pitch. I want to hear it." We were just laughing. And he wasn't doing it to make fun of the person on the other line. He was just genuinely going, "Hey man, this is your job. Let's hear it." It was nuts. Yeah.
Yes, we did see Mrs. Santa Claus with Jerry Herman songs and Angela Lansbury in the leading role. It's a very sweet little TV movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how widely it was seen the first time, or if it still is. Everything's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
We presume.
Yeah. Everything's hiding somewhere.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
But yeah, I would say if you haven't listened to our episode with Norman Lear, I recommend that. Just listening to him, when you get to hear passionate people talk about what they love, and this is something I say a lot about most of my parents' friends, is there is no age to them, because that's not how they operate in life. They are kids, really. And it's they say, like, if you do what you love, you don't work a day in your life, that kind of thing. So many of your friends do work in the fields that they want to, and so many of the people that we're around are that way. And it just changes everything if what you're doing is something you care about.
Yep.
Even if you have to deal with some of the BS, because everybody does, we all do, no matter what it is. When you get to interview people, or you get to make movies, or whatever it is, if you're doing what you love to do, then you're very fortunate.
I just wrapped up my class at USC a week ago Thursday, December 7th, and with Cord Jefferson, the writer-director of American Fiction. And I watched that film for a second time, and I liked it just as much as I did the first time. And it may take time to get to your community or your local theater, but it's really worth seeing. Such a good film, and Jeffrey Wright was a great actor.
He is.
He's saying it's maybe his favorite part he's ever had in a movie. You can see why.
Yeah, he's excellent. Would you ever consider producing the yearly film reviews book, considering lately there's been interest in print form media, even if it's a yearly book with just the new reviews for the year?
No, I think I've been there and done that.
I would also tell you the publishing world is chaos, and there's not support like it used to be, unless you are a reality TV star. To try and get anywhere is just not, it's just hard. So I think that for now, he's happy to have the website where he can still post his reviews and share them with people, and share them for free. I think that's kind of where that lives. But I always say the same thing, which is that I miss the guide very much. It was such a huge part of our lives.
I miss having the guide.
And
I miss doing the guide.
Yeah. Well, because it was huge. It was a year-long undertaking. It was huge. Do you like Wish? Let me tell you who did not like Wish. My dad's students. They showed Wish in class.
They were pretty harsh.
And they were harsh.
And they were all Disney fans. Mm-hmm. They all grew up on Disney.
Yeah.
And so they were the right demo. I was disappointed in Wish. I wish it was better.
Yeah.
And it's intended to be an homage to Walt Disney, to the classic Walt Disney animated films. Mm. And
I love Chris Pine's voice. I love when he sings.
I didn't love his characterization.
Yeah.
It's heavy. I thought his villainy was very heavy-handed. Maybe as written.
Yeah. Oh no, I love. If you are a Chris Pine fan, as I am, all of his scenes in Into the Woods, in the film version of Into the Woods, just glorious. But yeah, a lot of folks didn't like Wish. Yeah, here you go. Jerry Beck didn't like Wish. I wouldn't think he would. Yeah, it's unfortunate, isn't it? It really is. Most people I know are either saying it's not as bad as they thought it would be, or they just didn't like it. I have not really heard people saying, "Oh, I liked Wish." It's more of that, like, it was fine. Nobody running and yelling and thrilled, which is unfortunate. So yes, I just looked at my phone. So next Sunday, this is how little this time of year has meaning for us in this sense. Next Sunday is Christmas Eve. Mm-hmm. we're happy to live stream if you guys would like that. If it's not a good day because it is Christmas Eve, we can pick it up another time. So you guys let us know what you would like, and we'll go from there. Because, yeah, as I say, I'm telling you this. So when I was younger, especially, and again, did not have any form of Christmas, this is the most boring time of year because we didn't have Christmas trees and all the stuff to put up, Christmas parties, it just, oh yeah. So for us, usually the 24th, 25th, 26th is like the quietest time ever. Nothing goes on. This year now, we will, the last few years, we've done Christmas dinner. We've had friends over on Christmas Day, and my husband and I cook, which is just fun. But yeah, so that's us. Yeah, a few people are saying yes. Then hopefully it'll just be on as normal. So we'll see you next week. Have a good week, everybody. Again, I know everything continues to be chaos in this world, but we're very, very grateful to have you join us.
Don't add to that chaos.
Yeah.
Please don't
be
add
better than adding to the chaos.
Yes.
Thank you. It's the time of year to be thankful, and I'm thankful for the Maltins and the joy they bring to the world. That's very, very kind of you.
That's very sweet and meaningful.
We appreciate it. I will try to get Alice for next Sunday. I will try to get Alice for next Sunday. Okay. Thank you, everybody. We will see you soon.
Be kind.